In 1998, this man's 22-year rampage had Vegas casinos confused and frustrated. It's estimated that he stole $16.7 million from thousands of different slot machines.
He had the most sophisticated system we've ever seen.
At the time, nobody could work it out. He's the smartest criminal you've never heard of. For years, the casinos didn't realise they were getting robbed right in front of their eyes. So how did such an ordinary man scam the biggest casinos in the world unnoticed? To understand, we need to go back. At 20 years old, an aspiring locksmith is in trouble. The Chicago Police Department have just taken him into custody. To make ends meet, he's been helping the Genovese crime family. They're one of the 5 families that dominate organised crime in New York and beyond, and they've been making good use of him as a locksmith to break into a plethora of cars, homes and jewellery stores. But now he's being caught. If he rats, he'll end up in an early grave, but if he doesn't, he'll earn the family's respect and face prison. It's a decision that will have a huge impact on his future. Almost 10 years later, Dennis McAndrew is released from jail. He's had a lot of time to think about his mistake with the Genovese, so he makes the move from Chicago to Las Vegas and takes his mother's second name. As Dennis Nick Crash, it will be a fresh start. A fresh start where nobody knows him, he won't have to share the proceeds of his crimes, and most importantly, there's lots of money. A few days later, he's playing slots in a casino. He's never really gambled before, and he doesn't intend to now. Instead, he's trying to understand how they're secured, if they're alarmed, and what triggers the jackpot. If he can find an undetected way to open a machine, then perhaps he can prompt a payday like no other. Now at the time, slot machines were incredibly simple. Inserting a coin and pulling the lever would spin several mechanical reels. If the reel stopped on a winning combination, it would complete an internal circuit that would then activate the machine's jackpot and release the maximum payout. Understanding the machine's internal mechanics is the difficult part, and Dennis doesn't want to take any risks, so with his newly changed name, he purchases a machine of his own. Hidden away in a small Vegas apartment, he gets to work. To open the machine's outer casing is simple. By sliding a small sheet of metal through a crack at the right place, he can release the catch from the inside. However, the casino machine's manufacturer has built in an alarm to catch thieves who force their slot machines open. When a slot machine is opened, there's a 5-second window before the alarm goes off. A time delay is deliberately programmed in so casino staff are able to open machines without causing a panic. Inside the 5 seconds, they must flick an additional switch inside the slot machine. And Nick Crash has found it. His plan is to systematically hit different Las Vegas casinos one after another, but without being too greedy. He'll discreetly open the machine's outer casing, disable the alarm, manually adjust the machine's reels, trigger the jackpot and close the door before anyone realises what's going on. All they'll see is another lucky player cashing out. He practices the sequence over and over again in his apartment. Before long, he can complete the entire process in 15 seconds. For almost 10 years, he drives casinos crazy up and down the Las Vegas Strip with it. They've realised money's going missing and they know when it happened, but every time they check a cheated machine, there isn't any sign of tampering. Bit by bit, over thousands of visits, Nick Crash has stolen $10 million. But on one afternoon in 1986, he slips up. He's emptied this slot machine several times before. Positioned in a quieter corner of the casino, he's timed it perfectly. As the casino's security hands over to the next shift, he'll quickly slip open the machine, deactivate the alarm and set off the jackpot just like before. Except today, there's a new guy starting. Keen to impress and looking like a member of the public, this employee has arrived early. Nick Crash hits up the slot machine's jackpot and closes the outer casing right in front of him. He's been caught red-handed. After being grappled to the floor, he faces another 5 years inside. But as we know, Dennis only sees opportunity. He's unrelenting because this is where he begins to mastermind an even bigger scam that will cost the casinos up to $40 million per year. It's rapidly growing, technology is advancing, the old slot machines are being replaced, and CCTV is starting to appear everywhere. Unfazed, he begins to learn about the new slot machines. These new electronic slot machines have a video display unit that shows the player virtual spinning reels. Like the old ones, similar symbols signal a jackpot, but the outcome is decided by a computer software. software that is located within a chip on the slot machine's central motherboard. Dennis has the skills to access the motherboard, but all this computer stuff is just too much for him. Quickly he realises he's going to need help. To solve his problem, it means delving into his past. So he gets in touch with a member of the Genovese crime family, Eugene Bulgarino. He happens to be an expert when it comes to the latest technology. And better still, he's extremely wealthy and has no criminal background. He's easily able to purchase 2 slot machines for them to examine. Keeping quiet all those years ago has paid off. With Eugene and all his contacts cracking the slot machine's code, they create a small handheld device that Nikrash can mount on top of the internal motherboard. This device will corrupt the slot machine's computer code for a limited time. Once the time has passed, its presence will be untraceable. However, during the following window of opportunity, the machine will repeatedly spill the winning jackpot for anyone who should play it. If it wasn't for 2 obstacles, it would be the perfect crime. First, they have an issue with collecting the winnings. Many of the new modern machines now print a winning ticket that has to be collected from the casino's cashier, and in some cases, the casino jackpots are physical items, such as a new car. He can't keep winning jackpots and collecting the proceeds himself. Second, surveillance cameras are tactically positioned throughout the casino. Typically, there are cameras at every entrance, exit, and covering multiple angles in the casino's gaming areas. All of the slot machines are being watched. But fortunately, Dennis has been planning this moment for a long time. He recruits a small team of petty criminals to work alongside him. Their job is simple. The entire team will enter the casino at different intervals to avoid being linked. When Nikrash enters the casino, he'll conceal his identity via a disguise and head to the slot machine area. There, several of the team will be playing slot machines already. As he approaches, they'll move into the camera's line of sight, blocking the target machine from view with their body. He'll then crack the door, deactivate the alarm, and install the rogue computer code. Once he's left, the camera blockers will then continue to play more slots. One of them, typically a woman, will then play the corrupt machine and redeem the jackpot without raising suspicion. It's bold, but extremely clever. Now, they just need to cheat Vegas out of big money pots. In November of 1996, Nikrash and his team execute for the first time. They play it cautious at first, but it's the easiest $30,000 they've ever made. Nobody suspects a thing. 70% of the final winnings automatically go to Nikrash, and the other 30% is evenly distributed among the other 9 team members. They repeat the trick at multiple casinos up and down the Vegas Strip for the next 8 months. They cheat the Luxor, Rio, and the MGM for growing amounts each time. But Nikrash realises that to keep this scam going, he needs to regularly replace team members. Having the same faces picking up big wins and collecting cars over and over again will raise suspicion. On July 4th, 1997, Nikrash's team are ready to try out their skills at the Harrah's Hotel and Casino. This time, he's decided to up the stakes and go for it. The blockers enter. Then Nikrash. He cracks open the machine, corrupts the computer code, shuts the door and leaves. Jackpot. It's a win like never before. They've just taken $3.7 million from Harrah's Casino. Nikrash's share is a cool $2.6 million. Next, in 1998, the Megabucks jackpot stands at $17 million. Now, at this stage, the team have won 7 cars and nearly $16 million in total. To win the Megabucks would surely mean retirement. Nikrash is meticulous in planning the heist. But unbeknown to him, 302 miles away in Phoenix, Arizona, he's got a problem. The FBI are interrogating one of the low-paid blockers he previously used. They're facing jail time for another crime, but the FBI cut them a deal. Give them a bigger criminal and they'll get a light sentence. Unlike Dennis with the Genovese family, they're not so loyal. Having taken 70% of the profits, his greed has come back to haunt him. In the early hours of a summer morning, FBI agents bust into his home where they find 2 slot machines, locksmith's tools, $300,000 worth of antique furniture, and a handheld computer that has been used to cheat thousands of Las Vegas slot machines. Nikrash, at 57, is one of the greatest slot machine cheats in history. Facing a 7.5-year sentence, he's sent to jail for the final time and entered into Nevada's Black Book. The prosecution offer him a light sentence if he rats out another casino criminal, just like this one here in the next video. Dennis, however, refuses and serves his sentence in full before passing away in 2010. Thanks for watching, please subscribe.